Good morning, campers, my beautiful divine souls. So I had a bit of a rough night. I am returning. You know how I always tell you that healing is like wandering through forest, and sometimes you have to return to the same place for the 10th or 20th time, thinking you've healed that. But you haven't really. You're not really returning because you're no longer the same person as you were, and the place has changed as well. So it's just deeper, the deeper level, the subtle level. This is the level that I always tell you that so many feminines refuses to see. And it's so easy to think that we're okay, right? No, I've healed that wound. No, I've already dealt with that. No, I no longer carry that within me. If that was really true, if you would really be in a place that you've healed it all, it's like we're so terrified to admit that we're still on this journey. But if you were really in a place that you've healed it all, you would be an ascended master. Are you an ascended master? If you're not, I invite you to flip that table, to change that narrative, and instead of whenever you hear about a wound, abandonment wound, rejection wound, avoidance, sister wound, instead of saying, no, I've healed that, or no, I don't have that, change that and say, where do I have that? I must have that. We all have that. They're core wounds. So I'm dealing now, if you've watched my sharing video, a moment of vulnerability last night that I posted about sister wound. We all have that. We all carry that. It's going to be different for all of us. But whether it's in this lifetime, but buried in your subconscious because you've forgotten, because it was a long time ago, or because it was childhood, or because it was subtle, or whereas it's maybe from past lifetimes that you're not remembering because you haven't got there yet on your journey, or it's not that, at that moment of your journey, it's not something you're working on. It's always relevant. It's always there. We've all suffered through that. So I was refusing to really, really, really go deep on that because that's what I was saying. I was saying, well, I didn't suffer from that in this lifetime. Like I really, there's so many women that I love, that I admire, but in the recent days, it was really shown to me how subtle that wound can be within us, but it still exists within us. So I'm really working through this, and I'm really trying to, find my own ways and techniques to completely heal that, to change that frequency within me, to remove that shadow. And yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to share with you. And that, that reminder that sometimes it gets hard, right? Because we're on this journey for quite a while. The journey is long, the journey is hard. And we reach that moment that we're already, release the ego. The soul is in control, right? We know this. We're following our path. We're being authentic. We've healed the thickest, hardest layers of all of these wounds. But specifically also for divine feminine, and I've mentioned this to you in my video on YouTube about the episode about comparison of the journey of the feminine and the journey of the masculine. When we are past the most difficult part of this journey, right? That first part, when we're constantly in anxiety, in avoidance, in pain, because we are being shown the deepest, darkest shadows. This is what there's no escaping from this. There's no escaping from this. This is what your divine masculine does to you. Because he's in denial, because he's in avoidance, he shows those deepest, 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 deepest wounds within you for you to heal. There's no escaping that, right? It can be a little different depending on, what perhaps what wave you're at, or how big and deep of the wounds exist within you in this lifetime. But we're all old souls. We are all old souls. 20s are all old souls. We have been here for many, 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 many lifetimes. These wounds exist within us. And it's something very tricky. And I find it something a bit tricky, especially for the third wavers that are now awakening, right? Because the third wavers in this lifetime, they don't have those deep, deep, deep wounds as the second wavers, right? They're not as wounded. They're not as distorted. They're coming from a place because their mission is different. And again, I've done an episode about this. If you're interested to know the differences between the waves, it's on my YouTube. But sometimes it's actually when you come from a place of wounding, when you come from a place of it might seem weird to you, but when you come from a place of wounding, when you come from a place of rock bottom, there's no other place to go but upwards. You have all these wounds within you, so we just go ahead and heal. And the trickster energy on those third wavers, for those of us who haven't, those of you who don't necessarily have that, it's that strong, you don't go deeper because you don't feel it on the surface level, but we all have it. Again, abandonment wound, rejection wound, worthiness wound, sister wound, we all have it. If it's not this lifetime, it's previous lifetime. If it's not in your conscious mind, it's buried in your subconscious mind. And sometimes we can actually prolong our journey by thinking, no, I don't have that. No, that's not me. Again, flip that. Where do I have that? Get excited about discovering, about healing it. And again, going back to what I was saying to you on this journey, when we get to that moment that I always call, this, we cross the bridge. So we no longer suffer on a daily basis. We no longer cry ourselves to sleep. We now know who we are. We remember. And now it's walking the path. Many feminines fall into a trap of thinking my masculine is behind. Look at me. Look at what I've achieved. And he's still in the ego. He's still in the matrix. He has to be there. I talk about this all the time, and I've explained this so many times. He has to be there. And this is the moment when you have to become very proactive with your healing. You have to literally be on a hunt of the smallest shadows, smallest energetical glitches that still exist within you, because it's no longer visible. It's no longer accessible on a surface level on a daily basis, because you are healed on some level. You are healed, right? So you're going to be thriving in life. You have self-worth, you have independence, you feel like I feel good, I'm at peace, I'm happy. But again, ask yourself, am I ascended master already? Am I enlightened already? Am I in external union? If the answer to all of these three questions is no, then you still have work to do. And oftentimes on that second part of the journey, we mirror with our masculine, right? So that's why if you really want to progress on this journey, don't ignore these things, because the reason you're being guided to going deeper, 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 does the jealousy still exist within me? Does the competitiveness still exist within me, right? Through that sister wound specifically for women, that may be something that he now is really addressing, stripping that thick, thick layer of, damn, I've been jealous, I've been competitive, I've been comparing. I don't allow myself to be equal with people. I either teach them and treat them as below me, or I look at them as they're on an inaccessible pedestal. I am somewhere in between, trapped. No one is like me. Why is that? What is it within me that makes me feel that way, right? Happy to always, always hear your thoughts. And yeah, I love you. I love you. Change the narrative. Look with excitement for that wound that is still there, chances are.